This is the Midnight Box, a late-night broadcast from once upon a dark. Tonight's story is about a farm, a fire, and a woman who may not have been there when it burned. In April of 1908, a farmhouse in northern Indiana caught fire. It stood alone along a rural road outside La Porte. The land around it was open and uneven, with stretches of dirt broken by fencing and a small orchard beginning to wake from winter. There was nothing unusual about the house from a distance. A working farm, a place someone might pass without looking twice. By morning, there was very little left of it. The structure had collapsed inward. The roof was gone. The beams had blackened and folded into themselves. What remained gave off a low, lingering heat, as if the fire had only just decided to stop. The woman who lived there was named Belle Gunness. She was known in the area as a widow. She kept to herself mostly. The farm was active, but quiet. There were reports over time of men arriving. Suitors, some said. Others believed they were responding to letters, advertisements placed in newspapers, offering the promise of marriage, stability, land, a future. Neighbors noticed the arrivals less than they noticed the absences. People came, then eventually they were no longer seen, but nothing formal held. No single complaint carried enough weight to reach beyond suspicion. The farm remained what it appeared to be, occupied, maintained, unremarkable, until the fire. When the ruins cooled enough to approach, investigators began to move through what was left of the house. They were not only looking for the cause of the fire, they were looking for the people who had been inside it. The assumption was simple. The woman who owned the farm had died there. The fire had taken her with it. Inside the remains of the structure, they found bodies. Some were immediately visible, others were not. The ground surrounding the house drew attention, particularly the area near the pig pen. The soil had been disturbed in ways that did not match ordinary farming. It was turned unevenly, looser than the surrounding earth. They began to dig. What they found extended beyond what the fire had left behind. Bodies in various states of decomposition buried beneath the surface, some incomplete, some dismembered. The work of placing them there had been deliberate, repeated. It had not been rushed. The number was not immediately clear. It would continue to change as the ground was opened further. The farm was no longer just a site of a fire. It was a record. Inside the remains of the house, among what was believed to be the victims of the fire, they found the body that was identified as Belle Gunness. It was not intact. The corpse was headless. That alone did not prevent identification at the time. The assumption that the woman of the house had died in her own home carried weight. There was no immediate reason to question it, but the details did not settle. The body was smaller than expected, by several inches, lighter than those who knew her believed she had been. The proportions did not fully align with the woman described by neighbors, by records, by those who had seen her in the months before the fire. And the head, the part that might have confirmed or denied everything, was not found. Not in the house, not in the ash, not in the surrounding land. It was missing. There were other absences. Money, for one. It was believed that Belle Gunness had accumulated a significant amount over time. From her farm? From her dealings? From the men who had come and eventually disappeared? After the fire, much of that money was gone. There were explanations offered. Some suggested it had been destroyed in the fire. Others believed it had been hidden and not yet found. And then there were those who believed it had been taken. A man named Ray Lamphere was brought into the center of the investigation. He had worked on the farm, lived there at times. His relationship with Belle Gunness was unclear, described differently depending on who was speaking. He was charged in connection with the fire. During questioning, he provided statements that shifted. Some suggested he had knowledge of the deaths on the property. Others implied that Belle herself had planned something larger. At one point, he claimed that the body found in the house was not hers, that she had arranged the fire, that she had left. His statements were not consistent. They did not form a clean narrative, and over time, they became harder to separate from the circumstances under which they were given. They were recorded, but they did not resolve the question. The investigation continued for as long as the ground kept giving something back. More remains were uncovered. Personal effects, fragments of clothing, small objects that had once belonged to people whose names were not always known. The scale of what had happened on the farm became clearer in pieces, not all at once. But one part of it remained unchanged. No definitive identification was ever made of the headless body found in the house. It was accepted, in official terms, that Belle Gunness had died in the fire. There was no body that could prove otherwise. In the years that followed, there were reports, sightings, some claimed, a woman matching her description, seen in other states, living under a different name. Quiet, but not gone. None of these reports were confirmed. They existed alongside the record, not within it. Attempts were made, over time, to revisit the case, to examine the remains that had been recovered, to apply newer methods of identification. None produced a final answer. The farm itself did not remain as it had been. The structures were gone. The land changed hands. What had been uncovered was documented, then closed. What remained was the question. The fire in 1908 ended something. It ended the visibility of the farm. It ended the immediate search. It ended the presence of the woman who had lived there, at least in any way that could be directly observed. But it did not confirm what happened to her. The body that was found could not be proven to be hers. The body that might have proven it, the missing head, was never recovered. The money was gone. The witnesses were unreliable, and the ground, once opened, eventually stopped giving anything back. There is no record that confirms that Belle Gunness died in that fire. There is no record that confirms that she survived it. What exists is a burned house, a series of graves beneath disturbed soil, and a body that could not be fully named. The rest is absence. That was tonight's story. You've been listening to The Midnight Box. Wherever you are, thank you for listening. Good night.